There we go. Okay. What's going on? This is the raw and uncut version of my reaction video to the Spence and Terrence Crawford fight. You just say, starting off, to both fighters, who I like. But I was going with Arrow in this fight. My friend of mine, he said, if you're willing to lose some money tonight, bet on Spence. Oh, I said, oh, you disrespectful. You are disrespectful. I just want to let you know that. So I'm just going in like shit. Spence gonna probably just take care of his business. He know how dangerous Bud is, and he gonna stay in the fight. That's probably all I was expecting. He's just gonna stay in the fight. I thought he was gonna touch him up. I just thought he was gonna touch Bud up. That was total opposite. That was total opposite of what I thought. And that I've made predictions in sports before. All my years. But I really and truly feel like last night, today is July 30th. I feel like last night, that was like a moment I have never really seen before. Like how big the fight was. I'm not trying to say it was a movie because Eminem walked out, but that's probably like great too. Like you walked out to Eminem, like that's dope. I feel like that was dope. I ain't saying, Errol Spence, man, but it's like, come on now. It was a moment right there. Like everybody was glued into the TV. You know what I'm saying? The whole world was glued into the TV. Not just the US. We buying these fights year in and year out. And I think the fans, if you're a boxing fan, I ain't just saying, if you don't just follow boxing, you're not a fan, but if you are like really into boxing, you honestly would know how I could say, in a way, I ain't just gonna say it's nothing that we ain't never seen before, because we seen great things, but that was like added to the list. Yeah, that had to been added to the list, and then there's no way you couldn't. That was a pure dominance. That was just pure dominance from Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford showed pure dominance after round one, and I can tell you how. You already know he got knocked down 3 times. I'm just putting it out there. But who also knows that? The ref, of course. But the trainer as in Derek James, he knows that. But the referee always have to do his job. He was making sure he was telling Spence to keep your punches up, because they were a little low. And I seen it. I was like, yeah, those were a little low. The ref for sure is gonna do his job to make sure these fighters go with their safety. They leave the ring with their safety, knowing that they're beat up, bruised up in the fight. That's the whole point of the fight. But if you can walk and you can breathe and you able to see your family and they still smiling, your family's still smiling, it's like, you gotta take that into account. But none of the sentimental stuff. So I felt like Derek James honestly could have been threw the towel in. Just like how Porter's dad did. Porter's dad threw the towel in. I feel like Derek James could have threw the towel in. You knew how much punishment Spence was taking. That was too much punishment to take. It wasn't like the Tank and Garcia fight. Tank didn't even need to land that many punches on Ryan, honestly, to beat Ryan. If he wanted to be a volume puncher, he would. But he's a time fighter. Tank, that's different. That fight is different. But with this fight, you have a unique fighter in Bud Crawford, who can fight also on his left foot. And he starts off at southpaw. Do you know how dangerous that is to add to your skill set going into a boxing ring? It was like a bull and a matador. That's how it looked. Like a bull and a matador. I can't cap. It was like a bull and a freaking matador. I said, jeez. It's like anything that Spence like if you try to throw any combination, like any majority of his combinations didn't sort out right. Okay? And that's what you get when you fight a counter fighter in Bud Crawford. Throwing strong, precise jabs, snapping his head, keeping him back. But when he gets aggressive, okay, let me be passive aggressive. I will let you throw that wide hook. But as I see that it's wide, I can sneak something in there, wait for that wide punch to complete, and I'm able to throw two more in there. And that's what it looked like the whole fight. Every time he swung, he paid for it. And especially if it was wide. If it was wide, he was going to pay. And it should have been a game plan switched up in between with what he had. Well, he has an Errol Spence going on into the fight. So at round 7, when he got hit with those two right hooks, I can't even lie, man. It was kind of painful for me to watch it when he got hit with those two rights, because I was really in a state of shock after the first round. I was in a state of shock. I couldn't really even say like nothing. I couldn't say anything because that's how dominant Bud was. People gotta know how great that moment was. That was really a great freaking moment. And he's the people's champ, and he deserved to win. Because everybody been counting him out. I counted him out going in with Spence. So he shut everybody up. Especially those. But I'm not saying I don't see how great of a fighter Terrence is, of course. I just went with Errol. But get back on point. After that 7th round, man, I couldn't even watch the fight. I was thinking, man, Bud Crawford is kicking his ass. He's kicking his ass so bad, bro. I was just thinking, do Bud know karate too? Do this nigga know UFC too? Maybe he know taekwondo. Maybe he know jiu-jitsu. Maybe he's just a virtuoso. I don't know. That's how it looked last night after the 7th round. I said, I can't even watch this shit no more. Because it was painful to really watch, honestly. But at the end of the day, still glad to see those two men, those two black men, and respecting each other still. They still respecting each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's really all about. None of that old, what I can say, none of that old whole ass marking shit that you trying to do out in the public, man. I mean, it was really good in my eyes to see those two black men just respecting each other after the fight. And even like going into the fight, I ain't saying it shouldn't have been no respect going into the fight. Like as far as like shaking hands and all that stuff, I wouldn't do it. But after the fight, okay, yeah. And it was a class act. It was a class act anyway by Bud. Making sure he thanked the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Making sure he shout his team out. He got his family man. You can't beat that type stuff. And Errol's a family man. I'm not saying he ain't. Yeah, Errol's a family man too. I'm just glad both of them get to be with them but Crawford knows how to be a champion and act like a champion. And I even became a Bud Crawford fan. It's hard to say it. Bud Crawford fan for real this time. I was able to just become a fan after last night. And for sure, this boxing game is really starting to increase. I really feel like the fights that are upcoming, everybody want to tune in to them fights. It's buzzing. Boxing is buzzing, really. And I like Super Bowls. I'm a sports guy. I like the Super Bowl. I like the finals. You know what I'm saying? I really like to watch the major leagues whenever it's World Series time. Like, I don't really just watch all them damn games. Oh, they got a hell of a lot of games. But yeah, I'm a sports guy. I like track. You know what I'm saying? I like all that. But yeah, man. So shout out to them two guys, able to make another successful career fight on both of their resumes. But Spence lost to a respectable opponent at the end of the day. So hold your head up, Spence. You know what I'm saying? You good. Hold your head up. And Crawford, hey man, keep doing you, bro. That's all I gotta say. So I'm gonna keep doing more sports content, actually, because sports is just my thing, man. I just like sports. I ain't into politics for real, but if anything's buzzing, I would probably chime in. But I ain't into that. I love sports. So see y'all later, man. Peace.